Okay, so we are live. Oh, I gotta send them the link because YouTube does this weird thing. So hold on. Um, I had to get the link and take it and have them come to this link. Um, to everybody that's already over here, see, we don't have anybody here. Well, we do, we got 10 people, but I have to put the link to get everybody to come over because it's, yeah, just don't do that. Over here. I'm just getting the link out.
Can they hear you now?
Yeah, they can hear me.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's live. Okay, so we have people coming over. So just give me a second. You guys, we're gonna start in just 1 second. I'm just trying to, do something right now. But okay, so all right, so we're here. Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming over. And will you guys thumbs up the video as you come in? Hey, Rozzy and Kevin Creed. If you guys could thumbs up the video as you come in, that would be great. But so we're definitely here. Hey, Abriana. And so I want to get right to it because, I don't want to be on here all night. But so for you guys, what would you like for us to call you? Do you want us to call you by your name on the screen?
Yeah, you can call me KD, Kurt,
Okay.
whatever's best. My name is Kurt, but I go by KD a lot of the times, but whatever's
Okay.
best.
Well, I'll call you KD. So we have Katie here, and thanks for coming. For everybody who was around on my last live stream, they know that you called in and you had some thoughts, but we didn't have enough time. You kind of had some thoughts on Black men's options. I know I wasn't really clear as to what you know you were the point of it was, but we're here, and so we can discuss it and get into it, and we'll see how it goes so that I can understand you, and you can kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Okay. Well, all I was saying as far as the options go, um, black men right now, you know, as far as where we are in this younger generation, this younger group, they're not really caring about the outcomes of the community and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? They're choosing to do their thing as far as dating out, and these are young men. Like I saw you do a video on well, I don't think you specifically did this video, but I saw a video of young black men, younger black men, probably from 18 to about 22. And that video was just, a dude pretty much going around asking why, why it is they're not really checking for
Hmm.
black women. Or they weren't even asking that. They were asking, pretty much black or white type thing,
Right.
black girl or white girl. And a lot of these younger dudes were, I mean, it was about two who chose black women, but the majority, it was white women. And so the thing is, like, where do you feel like that's coming from with these younger kids, and how do we swoop that? How do we change that to where we can get some of these we can get some of these men, these young black men, back on this black women train?
Well,
How,
the
how do we fix this problem?
the thing of it is first you have to look at the reasons why they're going over to
Hmm.
white women. So do you remember some of the reasons that you heard them list as to why they were picking
Yeah,
white women?
I sure do. I can go ahead and expound on that.
Okay, so what
Attitude,
were they?
attitude was one of the main ones. One of the main things these kids were saying was attitude. So, obviously the attitude, it has to come from somewhere. So Are these younger women, are they giving some of these younger men attitude? Are they getting attitude from their mothers, which are making them seek, other
Well,
type of
I
what?
think we shouldn't. I think we should explore all the reasons. They
Oh,
said
definitely. I was giving
attitude.
examples.
One of them said he doesn't like anybody darker than him.
Hmm.
Many of them made comments about how they didn't like dark skin.
Mm,
They said that more than um, they said that more than attitude. But then they some of them also listed white women give heads. That's what they said too. So there was three things that I noticed. One, skin tone. Two, attitude. Three, white women give head. White girls give head or whatever, which black girls do too. But what do you think they mean by attitude? Let's talk about that one.
okay, attitude. What I think they mean by attitude is just maybe basic day to day interactions.
Like, give me an example.
Uh, shit. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Examples. It may just be a little bit easier. It may just
How
be
though?
okay. Okay. All right. Let me give you some of my experiences. Some of my experiences.
Hmm.
And I'm really trying to think. I'm drawing a blank. So don't. Let me.
No, it's okay. Take your time.
Okay. Cool. Um. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Approachable. Let's just go with the approachable. Let's just say approach
Okay.
wise. If if I'm approaching a white woman, right, and she's turning me down, the turn down might just be a little bit more nicer. It's usually a little bit more nicer.
Like, give me an example of a nice way that a white woman would turn
Okay.
a black man down versus a black woman.
Okay. So she would turn me down. Uh, no, I have a boyfriend. You know, she would. It's nice. It's with a smile. It's polite. It's it's giving me the goodbye, but it's a cool goodbye. I felt good about that. I felt good about approaching. I didn't feel too bad. If I approach this black woman and I approach her the same exact way, and this is just from my example. I may get a completely different vibe, and this isn't with all black women. It's definitely not with all black women. I'm just giving you the
What are
example.
some of the vibes that you've gotten though? Like, I mean, because a vibe is something that you have to
Just
interpret.
just
That's
like
not necessarily
ill,
anything she's
just like
doing.
ill. Why are
Is
you
she
responding like that? Why do you have to respond with this look on your face? Why do you have to? I just feel like
maybe she has an upset stomach. Why are you somehow interpreting it that she has some negative animus towards you? Have they said anything to you, or
no,
when you
no,
see
no.
her?
But that's my point. That's my point, though. Like
So
it
hold
may
on,
go ahead.
So they're not saying anything to you. It's just a look that you are interpreting as somehow being disrespectful
It's
to
not
you.
only the look, it's the words that come with it. And this is just in that specific example. She's turning me down more aggressive. She's turning me down more like, what are you doing? Like if she's not attracted to me as a black man, I feel like if she's not attracted to me, she not really gonna be nice to me. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
white, as far as a white woman go, you could be the ugliest nigga on the planet. You could be an ugly nigga on the planet, but she's gonna turn you down politely, gently. It's just more of a and that's just one example. But I think some of these kids and us as well, it's more masculine behavior with some black women. It's more masculine. It's more masculine tendencies. Like they're doing stuff like us. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of tricky.
Okay,
Go ahead.
let's talk about that masculine, because if you ask me, black men are not even exuding masculinity. So, to say if if black women's masculinity is more noticeable than black men's, what do you think that says about black men?
Well, I mean, we're not able to express our masculinity because when we do, it becomes toxic masculinity and it's
To
looked down
who?
on. Huh?
To who?
I mean, to the community. What's going on right now is toxic masculinity. Is that not a big thing? We're looked
Right,
upon.
but
Go ahead.
it's a big thing created by who? Who created the toxic masculinity term and who's perpetuating it?
Who would you say? Feminists? The feminist movement?
Well, it's not about the feminist movement. Toxic masculinity is a new term that just came out recently, like within the last 2 to 3 years.
Right.
So this is separate than the feminist movement. But who do you think is perpetuating and came up with this concept of toxic masculinity and somehow attached it to black men? Who do you think did that?
White society. I mean, I'm stumped on
Yeah,
this.
white society did, but you want to be more specific?
I want you to help me out with this one because
White women,
okay.
white women.
So
And the
that term
term, yes,
was
it
that
is from
term.
white women.
Okay.
And the reason it is put on black men is because of white women. Black women didn't create a concept of toxic masculinity. We couldn't care less because we're not even seeing any masculinity. Like, first, black men would have to get to masculinity before it even becomes toxic in the eyes of a black woman. But white women came up with that term, toxic
Okay.
masculinity.
Do you feel like black men as a whole aren't masculine? And do you
I
feel like we're allowed
I
to
do
be
think
masculine?
well, if you're allowed to be masculine, it would go back to who is stopping black men from being masculine. Who do you think is trying to suppress the masculinity in black men?
I mean, I mean, if we're getting deep, if we're getting technical, I mean, white society is trying to hold the black man down. If we're getting,
Right.
but I don't want to take it there. I don't want
So
to take it there.
no, but that is true. So if white society is doing that, then why is black women getting the stigma for it? Why do you think black
Because
women are getting the
I
stigma
think
for
black
what
women,
white people are doing?
I think black women are getting the stigma because I think that a lot of black women online are starting to buy in and push it as well. They're buying in as well as pushing it. And I say online because online, I've noticed this is a whole realm within itself. You know, when you step out into the real world, it's kind of different. I don't see all this black hate. I see it, but it's like so. I'm shaking my hand right now. If you could see, it's like so. So this internet gender war, I keep this shit to
Well,
the internet. Go ahead, go ahead.
I would ask you this question. Why is it that black men are so willing to publicly go to war with their women? And do you think that that's masculine behavior or feminine behavior?
I think that we don't need to be going back and forth with our women, but I think that that also goes both ways. I don't think that you guys should be publicly shitting on us. The reason why I say that is because there's a ton of other groups out there, you know, who are struggling as well. I don't want to say they're in the same position as the black
Well,
community.
which other groups are struggling? Because racially, the struggles here is by race and gender primarily. And then you have classism, but even within class systems, you still have racism within them too. So who's suffering some experience other than black women? Like, who actually have a plight and what is their plight other than black women's?
What about I don't want to compare. This is the thing, Cynthia. I don't want to compare any type of any. I don't want to compare any other group to what Black women are going through. I'm not. I'm not
Well,
saying that
here's the
y'all don't go
thing.
through shit. But what I'm
Here,
saying is there are other groups who deal with the same stuff. Not the same stuff. Not the same stuff. But there's other groups who deal with things too. Other groups of women. And those
Right,
ones,
and that's why I need you. The reason I'm asking you to listen, because it's not fair for you to say, well, I'm going to compare black women's attitudes, their
okay,
behavior, them in relationships. I'm going to compare them to other groups of women.
okay,
But when it comes to the struggle and the reasoning as to why that may be the case, since other groups of women have different lived experiences, then you're saying, well, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to compare the struggle. I only want to compare the outcome, and you can't do that. There is
okay.
a
I'll
reason
compare it.
why
Let me
Black
go ahead.
women's attitudes and mentality is a certain way.
Let me go ahead and do that. You got Indian women, for example. Indian women, for example, here in America, they
Which
can't speak.
ones?
Which ones? I don't. Damn. South Asians.
Are
That
are
is that.
you are you talking about the dark skinned black considered Indians or the white ones, the white Native Americans, the $5 Indians who were white
No,
people's
no, no, no,
community?
no. I'm talking about India Indians that are here in America. Like,
Okay, right. Which ones? Because there's different
yeah,
Indians.
not the
There's
Native Americans. I'm
Pakistanis.
talking about
There's
South Asians. South Asians.
Fiji.
South Asians.
Fiji. Are you talking about Fiji or Hindu Indians?
Hindu. You know.
Okay, Hindu. Okay, what about them?
Okay. So I was dealing with a woman. She was telling me, you know, the brown guys. That's what they refer to them as. You know, the brown boys. So she was telling me this is her exact words.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt, if you can deal with the black woman, then I know for a fact, hands down, that you can deal with me. She said, my group of men, they don't allow us to say nothing. They don't allow us to, if we speak out of turn, we liable to get smacked up. And that's what I don't think a lot.
But
Hold
that's
on.
a cultural practice, though.
Is that not, what do you mean?
Uh, I know. Well, you're trying to compare some intracultural issues in terms of patriarchy to systemic oppression that's being imposed on Black women from an outside group. That's why I'm interrupting, because those are not the same thing. And I actually know a little bit about that culture because I've had Indian friends, and they have arranged marriages, and it's not like what you're saying overall throughout the culture.
I'm
But
just
how
letting you know
does
what happened.
cultural issues, but here's my thing, cultural issues in a group of people isn't the same, and it's not a plight in comparison to systemic racism and oppression imposed on Black women by another group, and without the protection of her male group. So these are not the same thing. Tell me what other groups are going through that Black women are facing by a system of people outside of her community.
Okay, so there's no other group. When you break it down like that, there's no other group who's systematically been as oppressed as black women have. So
Mhm.
I literally can't make that comparison based off the breakdown that you just gave me. But I
Right.
thought,
So
go ahead.
here's the thing. When we get into Black women's attitudes,
Hmm.
do you ever hear Black men mention why they have an attitude?
Nah, go ahead, Cynthia. Yeah, I mean, I have heard some of the gripes, of course, I've heard
Right,
some of the gripes.
right. But how often have you
Have I
and
listened?
other Black men set up and talked about all that Black women have to go through when you think about their attitude, or just in a relationship? Even in relationships, it's typical of both people. But what ends up happening is they'll tell it from their perspective, and they won't tell what they've done. So let's say a man's complaining, I have an attitude. When he says I have an attitude, is he going to preface it by saying I did ABC and then she got an attitude, or is he just going to talk about her attitude?
No, and that's fair. I'm completely giving you that. I'm completely giving you that. It's a reason. So can I hear some of the reasonings why you feel like black women do have the attitude and they're exuding that type of energy towards black men?
Well, let's see, because we have to look at social media all over the place while Black men worship the womb of their oppressors,
Okay.
and compare us how we look to them and how our attitudes are, much like what you're doing. They won't take accountability for anything. They're literally publicly trying to humiliate and berate and compare themselves to a group of women that, quite frankly, they should be protecting and providing for, rather than considering why it is that Black women have an issue. They sit up and find ways to deflect. So they're not being men, they're not being builders, they're not being providers. And then they have an attitude of entitlement, actually. And then they try to belittle our intelligence by telling us that white women are better, despite the fact that we know that white women don't get a different Black men than Black women do. So this is the childish mentality that we as Black women have to deal with. Do you think that if white men were acting the way Black men acts towards Black women to white women, do you think white women would still be the so-called, which I don't even know why y'all think they're submissive, they're really not, but let's just say submissive. Do you think they would be the submissive, feminine, whatever positive adjective do you want to attach to them? Do you think that they would be that way if white men hadn't groomed and raised them to be that way?
Well, I mean, white women right now they're rebelling for the most part. So
They're not rebelling, and you want to know why they're not rebelling? Because white women are the most powerful group of women on the face of the planet because white men are. And so that is why white women back white men in everything that they do, because she knows that if he falls from his power of position, she falls from hers. The only reason why white women have this much power and relevance is because of white men are in power. So therefore, white men bestowed some of their power on white women. And if he loses that, she loses it as well. And she's not willing to lose it for anybody. I don't care how much black dick she swallow. She still backs the system and the men that she came from.
so what do you consider the feminist movement? You don't consider that a rebellion? You consider that just white women trying to get equality?
I think that white women like to throw tantrums, and I think that white men don't care about their tantrums, and that's why white men were funding the feminist movement and backing and supporting the feminist movement. Actually, they enforce the desire of feminists in this society. That's actually what they do. So this isn't them rebelling. You can look at it as them rebelling, but the minute that they need to get on code against you, oh, you can best believe they're going to do, and they've been doing it all throughout
I
history. They're going to
agree.
back white men.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you as far as that. Um, so your initial question was, can you repeat that last question that you have for me?
Well, my question is, why do you think black women have these attitudes? Because you still haven't even given me an example of the attitude that black women have. And this is something that they'll constantly do. I hear a lot of black men saying, "Oh, it's the attitude. Oh, they just have attitudes." You describe this rejection, which to me, I don't know why it matters how you're rejected. You're rejected nonetheless. Each one of them are telling you they're not interested, but whatever. I guess you need to be let down in a kinder way. But
That,
I'm
that one example, I just gave you that one example, but go ahead. Well,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, but you're free to, you can give any example if you want to. Feel free to, just throw other examples out as they come to your mind. But the thing is, I want to know about this attitude
The
that
attitude.
Black women supposedly have.
Okay. Um, I think the attitude comes from, a tougher upbringing. So I think that black women, as far as black women that's coming up in uh, lower income areas, rougher areas, I think that they have to come up with that mentality. I think it's a defense mechanism for the most part. But I think that they have to have that tough exterior, because they don't want to get done over. That, as well as it's been a lot of influence within the home,
Mhm.
whether she came up in a single parent household or whatnot, there could be some disdain towards black men within that. You know, it's a multitude of reasons. She could have maybe not felt like she had the protection she felt like she needed. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Mhm.
multitude of reasons why they are coming out. I mean, why they are having these so-called attitudes. Yeah, it's a plethora of reasons. You know what I'm saying? Deep-seated reasons. A lot of those women may not be happy with themselves. You know what I'm saying? So they're taking it out on other people. It's a lot. It's a lot that that can go into that. It's a ton that can go into why, people are acting the way they're acting. But
So, don't you think that if white women or Asian women or any other group of women had the same plight and experience that Black women have, add to that the broken homes, add to that the lack of protection, add to that a community where you're constantly seeing your group of men tearing you down rather than uplifting you, don't you think white women would have the same attitudes if white men were doing all of those things to white women?
I think they definitely would. I mean, an example of that was the Bill Burr situation that just happened. When
Hmm.
he spoke up on white women, they got frustrated. They got frustrated and they came at him. The same way you could say, which is happening with us. But the flip side, the flip side of that is they're not doing that though. You don't see a grip of, like you said, because they're in control. They're in control of the system. So you rarely see a group of white women coming at a white man like that. You know what I'm saying? That's rare. We're the only group of people to have these back and forths publicly. We're the only group of people who decide to go back and forth like that. And does that just need to be on us? Do we just need to stop this shit? Or can you guys take some accountability on that too?
Well, here's the thing that's interesting about this accountability, and this goes back to my question about masculinity, and this is why we compare it to other groups. So let me give you this example, and then I'll ask you my question. Say I'm a manager at a company and I have a team of 20 people, and my 20 team people, they fail and they're not up to par, they're not meeting the company's standards of performance. Who do you think the managers are going to come to? Who do you think the upper heads are going to come to when my team is failing?
You.
Exactly, because I'm supposed to lead my team, right?
Hmm.
Right. So if I'm supposed to lead my team and my team fails, then that's a reflective of my leadership. I don't get to tell the upper heads that they need to go talk to my team members. I don't get to tell them that because I'm in charge of them. So therefore, I'm in charge of their behavior. So if Black men think that they're going to be the leaders of a community and want to be treated like men, what sense does it make for them to then blame the team members that they were supposed to be leading for a broken community? Why do they get to do that when they're the leaders?
Cynthia, I just gotta refute that with a question. I mean, listen, if Phil Jackson was coaching a team full of Kobe's, all he had was just a team full of Kobe's, he's not gonna be able to win because Kobe wanna do whatever the fuck he wanna do. Kobe
Okay,
gonna,
so
Kobe
so
gonna
you
do what he
gotta
wanna do. Go ahead.
okay,
So
you
what I'm
gotta
saying is,
you gotta
what I'm
stop
saying is the
cussing.
team's not playing. The team's
Hold
not
on.
willing
You
to
have
play for
to
me.
you have to stop cussing.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, I
Yeah,
apologize.
so
I
yeah,
apologize.
you have to stop cussing. But the thing of it is I don't understand the example you're trying to give
The
me. I
analogy
don't
is,
understand
the
that.
analogy is yes, if I'm a leader, if I'm a coach, and people who are playing for me, I'm supposed to lead that team. Yes, but if they're not willing to listen to anything I have to say when I'm trying to lead, and they're just trying to do their own thing, where does that leave us?
Well, if that was a real life scenario and that was actually happening, the person would get kicked off the team. Simple as that. If
Facts.
they're not listening,
Exactly.
then they would just
Exactly.
get kicked off the team.
Exactly. Exactly.
But the
They would
leader
get
is,
kicked off
but
the
here's the thing, the leader isn't going to kick them off the team and then dismantle it and walk away and stop being a leader.
if
So while you're saying exactly, you can say it's exactly that's fine, but tell me in what scenario that does that leader then quit and say, I'm not going to be the leader anymore because that person won't listen to me? In what scenario does that happen?
what happens is they go and find teammates who can get the job done. It's not an indication. It's not an indicator on the leader. If they
But you
they
still
stuck it
continue to
out,
lead, right? But you
huh?
still continue to lead and get your job done,
Exactly,
right?
exactly, exactly.
Right. So why aren't Black men still getting their job done? That's
Why
my
aren't
point.
why
Why
aren't we?
why aren't they? Yeah, why aren't they?
I
Why
mean,
aren't they just still getting their job done?
what black men are we referring to? Because
All of them, any
there
of
are a
them.
ton of black men who are getting the job done.
Really? Okay, so where are the Black men built communities? Where are the schools?
Where
Where are the banks?
can I?
Where are the hospitals?
Where are the Muslim hospitals? Where are the Indian hospitals? Where are the Asian hospitals? Where are the Asian
And
banks?
you have all of those. Have you heard of Chinatown?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so that's where you can go if you want to find those for Asians. Asians own
They
a
didn't.
large
They
stake
didn't
of
drop.
this country. Listen,
Go ahead.
Asians own a large part of this entire country.
I agree.
Own it. So the thing of it is we're not going to compare this to Asians because other groups of people have theirs. You can go to Muslim stores, you can go to Jewish stores, you can go to their banks. You
Hmm.
can see their infrastructures. They're up all around. You
And
can
when
even
black,
find it, hold on, you can even find it in the Hispanic community,
okay,
all of it. So where is black men's that is the
when
equivalent?
we attempt to do these things, what usually happens, Cynthia?
From
When
who?
in history, when black men build things, what happens, Cynthia?
Right, but who was stopping you? Was black women stopping you from building things?
No, I've never said black women was stopping us from. No,
Right, so why are black women having to pay for that?
y'all not having to pay. How are y'all having to pay for that, Cynthia?
Because we have a group of men who are sitting here not building, not giving us what other men are giving other women, and then comparing us to those women who are getting everything from their men.
Cynthia,
So that's the problem. If you want the behavior, you have to incentivize it. We just went over the fact that if white men were acting like black men do to black women towards white women, we already established that white women would be acting the exact same as black women would. So why is it that you guys think that you can somehow hold black women to the same standards, but you're not providing what the men are providing? That's
the,
why I
the
say
men
that.
in these other cultures, you know, unless they're like the top 3% of their cultures, they're not doing what's being said that's going on. Like these dudes aren't like like I'm just
So how does the
what
system get perpetuated then? Because eventually the three people at the top they die at some point. So how is it getting perpetuated? How does it continue? Why hasn't it been broken down then?
because it seems like I don't know. It just seems like it's a concerted effort to keep black men down when they do try to accomplish something along those lines, those building lines. And I don't want
When's
to
the
seem
last
like I'm
time?
making excuses. Go ahead.
Well,
But
when's the
because it
last
sounds
time?
like that.
Well,
I
here's the
know it
thing.
sounds
When
like I'm making excuses, and I don't want to seem like I'm making excuses for black men and what we've built, but like let me use like what's what's a failure to you as a black man? What would he have to be making financially for him to be okay for you?
the man being a failure or a success to me isn't tied to his money. But the thing of it is I wanted to get back to what you said. See, because the thing of it is I think it's unfair, but I noticed a lot that black men will compare black women to white women all day, every day. But the minute you start comparing them to other men, they have a problem with it. And I think the reason why they have a problem with it is because they know that the outcome of these women are dependent on the men. They know it's dependent on what the men are doing. Like y'all are literally praising white men's handiwork. That's what you're doing. You're praising the abilities of white men when you talk about white women's behavior. That is what you're doing. Because those men have molded the women into the type of women that they think they should be, and then they incentivize the behavior. It is because of white men that 85% of your HR workers who are doing hiring and firing are white women. It is because of white men that most of your family court judges are white women. It is because of white men that most of your teachers who are indoctrinating children are white women. It is because of white men. Those are just to name a few. Those are because of white men. So y'all are praising his handiwork. So you should just go out next time you see a white man, give him a pat on the back and say, good job raising the women. That's what you should go do because you're praising his handiwork. And when you look at black women and you complain about them, guess what you're doing? You're acknowledging that black men have failed. to raise and produce the type of females that they think are dateable or that they think are worthy of submission.
Is
You're
it a
literally saying, I suck at raising good mates, but white men don't because I love their work. That's what you're doing.
is it a complaint or is it a critique? Like, is it,
It
are
doesn't
we
matter
really
which one it
complaining?
is. Does it really matter? It doesn't matter whether it's a complaint or a critique at
I
the
mean,
end of the
yeah, because
day.
critiquing can actually make someone better. If you have a critique, an honest critique, and if you go in and you listen to the critique, you can get better. You can grow from that. A
So
complaint,
why aren't black men growing? Black women critique black men all day, every day, according to them. Why are
who?
they not growing then?
That's what I'm saying. There's this, like, what sector of black men are you talking about? There are
All
black
I'm
men.
talking about all of them. I'm
Oh,
talking about all of them.
come on,
All of
Cynthia.
them
I know you're
as a
not talking
group.
about all of them.
I'm talking about all of them as a group. Let me just put it this way. None of them as a group have built any communities. None of them have. You know who Mark Zuckerberg is? He's Facebook guy, right?
Hmm.
Billions.
Hmm.
There's a Zuckerberg hospital in California. Do you know
Okay.
why?
Why?
Because Mark Zuckerberg, he took his money and he used it to build up in his communities. He put a hospital there. He has Facebook there. He has a number. I'm sure he has a ton of different properties too. So he's chosen to take his wealth and put it into his community. What do black men do when they get wealth?
Jalen Rose has a school. As so does LeBron James. He
Yeah,
has a
those
school.
are,
He
but
could.
those are government schools. The government run those schools. If they didn't create private schools, they created government funded, government operated schools. But the thing of it is what do black wealthy men do with their resources and money?
Jalen Rose's school isn't government, Cynthia. LeBron's is. Jalen Rose's isn't.
Okay, but that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is what do black men, the majority of them, not one Jalen Rose, because you can't use the
I mean,
exception to
you
negate
you
the
you gave
rule.
the Zuckerberg. I'm just matching what you gave me. I'm just match. You gave me a billionaire. I'm just giving you some millionaires who gave back.
Okay, well, let's say Kobe Bryant. What community did he build in?
Kobe has done a ton of things for the black community that goes
What
unnoticed.
community did he build in? What did
I'm
he build in the black community? What did
LA.
he build? What did
LA.
he
He's done a ton of things where he's reached out to
what community did he build in? Because his sports center, well, let me explain something to you. His sports center was in an area that literally had 99% white people in it.
yes,
So
yes.
you're not, so if he is putting his stuff in the white community, he is building for the white
You're not
community.
speaking on that though, Cynthia. You're
We
going
are. That's
straight to
no,
where
that's
his camp
exactly what
is.
I'm asking you. No, that's exactly what I'm asking you. I'm saying, what community have black men built? Where do they put their
Why,
money when they get
why
wealth?
Kobe's not relevant if LeBron isn't relevant.
Dr. Dre. Okay, well, let's say Dr. LeBron, it can be relevant. He can be relevant. That's fine. We'll
Okay,
use
Dr. Dre,
LeBron.
he
Where does
just put
Dr. Dre put his
listen, I'm
money?
from Compton, Cynthia. Dr. Dre just put uh millions of dollars in the Compton school district, Cynthia. They're rebuilding Compton High
Where?
as we speak. That's a Dr. Dre donation.
Because they're gentrifying that area. They are gentrifying that area. That's why they're putting money into it. In whose community is Dr. Dre's money going?
Okay. So so
Okay, let's use Byron Allen. Whose community? Byron Allen is a billionaire. What community is his money going into?
Byron Allen's money can be going into the black community. Did he not just pay for it?
It could be,
Hold
but
on,
it's
Cynthia. Let me
not.
finish. Let me finish. Did he not pay for a complete graduating class of black men? I would say
Who
that's going into
oh,
the.
who is that money going to? Is it going to the school or is it going to black men? It was going to the school, right?
Sorry, I might be wrong. I thought it was him giving the Morehouse
It,
graduates some money. If I'm mistaken,
no, he was paying off their student loan bank. He paid off their student loan debt, i.e., gave the money to a white bank.
okay,
That is what he did. And so, where is Byron Allen's money going? Especially if Byron Allen was to die today,
it's
where
going
would his
to his.
money
I know
go?
what you're getting at. Kobe's money is going to his Latino wife. Byron Allen's money is going to his white wife. It's going to the white community.
Right.
Now,
So
can I
black
ask
men
you a
don't put
question?
their money
Can
in
I ask you a
the
question?
black community, right?
These men, these men, both of these men, I believe they were with black women previously. Where's Oprah's money going to, Cynthia? Is that going to the black community?
Her Oprah's money is going into the white community and whatever she's doing in Africa. That's where
Okay.
her. But guess who? But guess what? Guess who would be likely to get her money if she died? Do you think it would go to a white man or the black man Stedman that she's
I
been
think it's
around for a
going
very
to
long
whoever. I think
time?
it's going to whoever's in her will, and maybe Stedman is in a piece of her will, maybe not. But I don't think Stedman is gonna benefit off being with Oprah for all of these years. That's just my opinion, though.
Well, even if he didn't, it wouldn't matter. I mean, that wouldn't matter anyway. But the bottom line of it is when black men get wealth, that's why I brought that up because see, Mark Zuckerberg and people like him, they build in their community because they know that if you want to build up the wealth of a community, the wealthy have to invest into the community. So therefore, you will see them primarily investing in their community. And this is whether they marry black or not. They're still going to put their money into their own community. Soon as black men get a few dollars in a bank account, they want to go and give it to a white woman. That is what they want to do. Like what Nick Cannon said, oh, we just want to give it to white women because this is status. It's funny because while you guys are out here saying being with white women is a high status, they're out here saying that being with you lowers their status. That's what they're saying.
So, what about okay? Since we're able to use LeBron James, what about LeBron? His wife is. I mean, his wife is black. I can point to a ton of celebrities who have black wives as well, and are
You
giving
you
their
could
wealth to them black wives. Chris Paul's
you
wife is black.
so
Magic
why
Johnson,
so why
Cookie's
doesn't
wife,
the black
Cookie.
okay so why doesn't the black community have any wealth then?
I mean, Cynthia, you've seen the history. You've seen the history, and you've seen what white supremacy does when we finally get a leg up and we finally get some momentum and we're doing something. You see what happens. That's what I'm saying. You're not
I
being
saw what
smart.
happened in the 18 and 1900s. It's 2020. So when is the last time that white supremacy has attempted to stop black men from building any communities?
Today.
By doing what? What are they doing?
Ah, Cynthia, we both know what it is. Come
No,
on.
I don't. I don't. What are they doing? And even if me and you knew what it was, it wouldn't. That doesn't mean the 1,500 people who are watching know what it is. So what are they doing? Like who's stopping them, and what are they doing to stop black men today?
I feel like you're not giving the builders, the people who are actually putting a foot in the dirt,
Who are they?
getting down and dirty. It's a ton of black men. Shit, I'm oh sorry
Who?
about the
Who?
cussing. I'm one of them. I'm trying to build
Okay,
something,
what are you building?
you know. I'm trying to
Well,
build an empire.
trying,
Yeah.
and you're
And look,
doing what
listen,
to try to build an empire?
let me say something too to that. I'm a single man. So I'm not even approaching women. I'm not even approaching women until I'm where I need to be because I don't want to step to y'all while I'm not ready. You understand what I'm saying? I don't even want to I don't even want to do that. But
Hmm.
my point is like sorry, Cynthia.
No,
Uh
it's okay.
yeah. My point is though, like damn. I feel like you're not giving any credit to the dudes who actually out here trying to grind and get it.
Because going out here trying to grind and get it is of no question. There's a lot of dudes out here trying to grind and get it.
Okay.
Grinding and getting it is not the same as building for a community. That so usually when black men are out grinding and getting it, they're not thinking about the community. You just said even the young dudes that you deal with, they don't really care about the outcome of anything that they do, basically. They're not thinking about the community. They don't really
I
care
was
about the
talking about as
community.
far as I was talking about as far as dating. I wasn't talking about as far as building.
Yeah, but it's not just dating because if you look at the black community now, black men don't have to say that they don't care about the community. I mean, it's quite evident that they don't care about the community. So
Is it
even if they don't say it, it's clear.
Is it evident? See, that's the thing. Like these dusties, these group of dudes who you're talking about. Um, damn, damn. Would I qualify as a dusty?
I'm not saying that all black men are dusty. Dustiness isn't about whether you build a community or not. It's more
What's
of a
it about?
mentality. It's more of a mentality that you have. And so the thing of it is, though, is the bottom line of it is there aren't any black men building anything. But guess because we would hear about it. You know how I know we would hear about it? Because
Mm-hmm.
those black women who bought up all the acreage to build that community in Georgia, it's in the
Yeah.
news. It's in the news. So why is it that
Like Tyler Perry built a studio for black people to be employed.
right? So
Right.
you think that they would stop black men from building a community, but they're not going to stop black women from building a community because black women are out there now trying to build a community on 19 acres in
That
Georgia.
I mean, this is exactly what they want, though. They want for the black woman to be the head. They want it for it to be what's the word? Matriarchy? Is that one a man or is that one a woman?
But why would y'all let them? It is a matriarchy, and that's fine. But why would you let them create a community that you don't want? If you want a patriarchal society, why would you let them turn it into a matriarchy?
It's so in order to get black women's cooperation, do we have to build? Is that what y'all are saying? Is that what the gripe?
Well, cooperate with what though? What would you like for us to? What are we not cooperating with?
I mean, this conversation don't seem like we've gotten any what's the word? Solutions. Like
Well,
how do we fix this
we're
problem?
trying we're trying to get to the solutions now. What is it that you think black men want black women to cooperate with?
I just think that y'all, you know, pretty much what we're complaining about. Is it does it have to be a back and forth? I mean, if we're all complaining about similar things, do you guys feel like it's just us making this stuff up? Do you just feel
I
like
think that you guys don't know what you want because even when I asked you, because you said black women won't cooperate, and even when I said, okay, well, what would you want us to cooperate with? You can't even give me anything that you personally, as one man, would want a woman to cooperate with. So most black men, when you ask them, well, what would you want us to submit to? Well, what do you want us to cooperate with? They can't answer. And so I think that could be why you guys aren't getting what you want because you don't even know what you want. What
no,
would cooperation look like?
we want submission. We don't want just a ton
Submission
of
to what? Submission to what? Submission isn't just a word with no meaning. Submission means something, and
or
submission
you're
is
saying
tied to
submission to what?
authority.
You're saying submission to what? What are you willing to submit to? What are you personally, Cynthia G, willing to submit to?
I mean, it depends on the man. It depends on the man.
How does it depend on Cynthia? What are you willing to
It
submit to?
depends on what I want out of the man. I mean, I'll submit to leadership. Where's the leadership?
Does he have to conquer white supremacy?
Well, how is he going to accomplish his manhood if he doesn't? Because you said they're not letting you be masculine. So if you want to be masculine, and wouldn't you have to go conquer whoever they are? You would have to address they if they're not letting you be the men that you want to be. So that's inevitable, right?
Okay. So in order for us to move this needle forward, we need to just abolish white supremacy as black men for us to get some type of respect out of our black women.
You could start by just standing up for yourself as a man. What do you think is going to happen if black men choose to be more masculine? Like, where are the laws that
You
says
see,
black men can't be masculine?
well, I mean, it's not a fact. I mean, you don't have to look at the laws. Look at all of these black men getting killed. Look at white men having the same type of luxury.
But here's the thing. That doesn't have anything to do with your masculinity or femininity. But
Yes,
my
it
question
does.
is,
Yeah,
it
yes, it
doesn't.
does.
No,
If
it
somebody
doesn't. They couldn't. Here's the look. Listen, they couldn't care less whether you are masculine or feminine, they care about your blackness because black men are no longer masculine. They are very docile. You have black men running around wearing dresses and skirts that they don't have to put on, but they're choosing to. So when we talk about someone trying
That's
to steal
pushed.
your masculinity,
That stuff is pushed. That
it
stuff.
could be, here's the thing, it can be pushed as much as it wants to be pushed. You should be asking, why are black men complying? Because pushing it and saying we want to do this, that, and the third doesn't mean you as a black man have to run in a room and put on a dress.
I mean, some of
It
these guys.
shouldn't matter. Like,
That's
at
not.
what point? Here's the thing, at what point do black men put their foot down and say, I don't want to do this, I don't want this in my community, so I'm not going to do it? At what point do they do that? Or do black men not have any choice in anything that happens?
I mean, of course we do, but as far as that dressing stuff goes, that's more so Hollywood. Are we speaking on Hollywood and what they put in front of us?
It's
Or are we
not just
speaking on everyday
Hollywood.
stuff?
It's not just Hollywood. I've seen dudes in restaurants, in gas stations, wearing skinny jeans with rose
Dress.
embellishments on them.
Okay.
So why are they doing that?
And now you have to ask the question, how did these dudes come up? Why are they so comfortable with being this way?
Why are
They
they?
have
You
any
tell
father
me.
figures?
You tell me. Why do you
Did they
think
have any
black
father
men are so
figures?
comfortable? I don't know. That
Are
likely
they
they
growing up in
didn't.
a house with all women? Are they coming up
Okay,
in a
so
house with a single mom? Are they?
a single mom is whose fault? Who creates single moms?
I mean, both parties. A
Oh,
mother,
how does a woman create a single mother? How does she do that?
because if she chooses to lay down with a Dusty and have a baby with that Dusty, and that Dusty decides to leave, then she had some
What's a
accountability in making that baby.
what's a dusty, and how do you tell if a man is gonna leave once the woman gets pregnant? How do you tell
Usually,
that?
okay, Cynthia. So you can't tell her ain't shit. Oh, damn. I'm sorry about the cuss. I really apologize. But you can't tell a dude that's not nothing than a dude who.
No, not by looking at him. No, I can't. Not by looking at him.
Okay, so my point is, my next question is, what type of men, what type of black men are you dealing with? What type of black man is it that you're dealing
Most
with?
black women are dealing with the amount of black men that are in the that are here. Like,
Okay,
black women are just dealing because let me ask you this.
go ahead.
Do you think a lot of black women, do you think there's a lot of black women who complain about the quality of black men, or a small portion of them that complains?
I think it's um a lot, but can I say why I think it's a lot? Because I think that it's a lot because I think that we have this stigma in the black community as far as black women, to where they're usually only attracted to a specific type of guy. Usually that is the black woman's turn on, is a Dusty. Whether it may be a fresh, clean Dusty, if he a D boy, if he getting some type, if he a scammer, you
When
know,
did black women
that's,
say that?
huh?
When did black women say that they preferred a man that was a dusty?
Every day. It was just listen, it was just a viral
So
video
why are
on
they
three. Hold
so
on,
why
hold
are
on.
they creating songs saying that they don't? So where did the song No Scrubs come from? Because
I
that was
don't
talking about they don't want a dusty. So if black women are making all these anti-dusty songs, where are you guys getting the impression that black women like dusties? Why would we like dusties?
I feel like black women like Dusties because
What does a dusty look like?
I don't. The Dusty looks like the majority of these whoever these women are laying up with and ended up with as single mothers. Those are the Dusties. That's what they're looking like.
So
So
do you
go ahead.
think the community is made up mostly of dusties or nice dudes?
I think that the community is made. Hold on, because you never let me get to my point.
Sure,
My
go ahead.
point was I feel like that's who most majority of black women are going after. That specific stereotype of dude, the thug, the player. He got to look a certain way. He got to dress a certain way. Usually designer only, that type shit. Usually, usually that's who they're seeking. They're not seeking for the dude who's in his books. And how I can tell you this, not because of me. I wasn't that guy. I was the guy who didn't need none of that stuff. But I know dudes who was really just playing their part as men, and they got looked down upon because they didn't have it. They didn't have the look. They weren't tall enough. They weren't swaggy enough. They thing wasn't big enough. It wasn't hitting like it should have hit. Black women have a ton of criterias, and they don't the criterias that y'all have, it seems like they don't lead to building. It seems like you guys go after those type of guys when it's too late. When it's too late. So I think if y'all opened up y'all options more outside within the community though.
So let me
Within the
ask you
community.
this. Let me ask you this. Why are there so many Dusties for Black women to choose from within the Black community? Why are
I
there so many Dusties?
okay. Can I call those women who laid up with these Dusties as well?
Yeah, you can call them whatever you want to
Okay,
call
then
them,
yeah,
but
we're
I
dealing
would
with a lot of Dusties. So after we got that figured
right,
out,
but
let's figure out
oh,
what we
right,
gotta
but
go ahead.
right, but what I'm asking you is why do you think there's so many dusty dudes in the community for Black women to choose?
I think it's a lot of dusty dudes in the community due to the past, as far as people who've led us into these situations, these generational curses. And I think it's due towards, the situation. Men and women both. A lot of these dudes leaving and a lot of these women raising these kids.
Right. So wouldn't that be on Black men, not Black women, if they're choosing? Because just here's the thing, just because you end a relationship with a woman doesn't mean that you can't raise your child. So if we have this influx of dusty dudes, either one, Black men are choosing to be dusty. They're choosing to be dusty, making a conscious effort to be dusty because they just don't care,
Yes.
or they were raised in an environment that produced dusty behavior.
Yes.
And most
Yes.
of the time, that's because of lack of who was there, because of the Black men's
It can be
absence.
lack.
I'm
It,
sorry.
it can be lack. Well, okay. Lack thereof. So if you have a baby by Dusty, then you're Dusty too. Is that
Okay,
fair to say?
that you can say that. Yeah, I don't see what relevance that would
Okay. So
have, because
I
but then
think
you just got two dusty people dealing with each other. So what would be the point?
exactly. So that's where the community's at. Two dusty people dealing with each other. Now, how do we get that other side of the community? The community who's actually making the right decisions, doing good things.
Which who are those? Who are those who are making
I
the
mean,
right decision and
I
doing
would
good
consider
things?
you one of those people. I would consider me one of those people. How do we do it now? How do we fix this? Because the Dusties are just gonna have to be where they are. They're just gonna have to do what the hell they do. We gotta leave them behind
The
because
Dusties
that's
are the
causing the problem,
majority.
right?
Here's the thing. The Dusties are the majority of your community, specifically with the men. And that is because Black men are choosing to evade their responsibility, and they're acting as if they need Black women to hold their hand and walk them to their responsibility. That's not how manhood works at all. Do you think white men are sitting up waiting for white women's permission to continue to have global power? Do you think they're doing that?
No, I don't think they're doing that.
Right, they're not doing that because they've decided that they're going to lead regardless, because this global system is not self-sustaining. They
Right.
have to actively do things to continue to keep this going from generation to generation to generation. And they're not concerned at all about whether the women want them to or not. So why is it that Black men are not just disregarding what Black women feel, think, or want? Why don't they just get up and build anyway? Why don't they just get up and lead anyway and let the people who want to follow? But at the end of the day, they're doing it. Why are they not doing that as they sit here and talk about attitudes and ask for submission?
Mm. I think that to respond to what you said, I think that a lot of these women are just attracted to these dusty type of men. Like I just feel like that's that are
Right, that's fine, but aside from the dusty men, because you still have yet to tell me why black men are choosing to be dusty. That's fine. Black women are picking men that they're around. They're picking dudes out of their community. That being said, why are black men choosing to be dusty? Why are they choosing to be men who would disregard their own children? Why are they making a choice to be those type of men?
I think black men are choosing to be dusty. Some of them are choosing to be dusty. I think they're choosing to be dusty because the ones who are choosing to be dusty, I mean, they can get away with it. They can get by with it, and they know that there's gonna be a group of women who they can be dusty with, and they still gonna mess with them.
Right, which means that in essence, black men are not fit for leadership. They're
No,
not.
it means that the black women that these women are choosing aren't meant for leadership. There's black men out there who have those capabilities and
So
who
why are
are
they
moving.
not doing it?
They
So why are they not doing it? If they have the capability, why are they not doing it? They're not. Because you can't even point me to one who is building anything at all.
I gave
You've
you
yet to point out any black man who is building any community. They're not. So why do you keep saying that they are out there, but when it comes time for you to tell me where they're at and what they're building, you can't name it. If
I mean,
it would be obvious if they were doing it.
I gave you Tyler Perry. I gave you the Tyler Perry example. He
He
built
had
the
he
whole.
had a studio in the community.
That's not for the black community. I mean, most of his
No,
hirees are
I'm
black.
asking you is an entertainment studio among the many things that it needs to establish a community, an entertainment center is not one of them. The key things that you would need to build a community is a bank, a school, hospitals, financial institutions.
They don't
Those
have
are the
black men.
things that you need in order. Hold on, those are the things in a collective community that you need in order for it to be a community, and it needs to be sustained and governed by that community.
Michael
If you do
Jordan just
not
built
have
a
that,
hospital in North Carolina, Cynthia.
that's no, that's not a hospital. It's not a
Oh,
hospital. That's okay. Here, I know what it is. I looked it up. He hold on. He partnered with Novant Health System. I'm telling you what he did because I looked it up. He did not build a hospital. He partnered with Novant Health System to create a low income community. But yes, he did put it in the black community. But that he partnered with Novant Health System. That's what he did, but it is in the black community.
okay. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, if that's the case, if I can't, then yeah, we're not building. We're not building. If that's what it is that you want to kill, we not building. We not building. So since we're not building, you know, now what? So now it's just building, because it just seems like
Well, since you're not
nothing's good enough.
building,
What's
that's
good
not
enough?
that's well, what have you guys done? That's the thing. What have you done that you would like for black women to recognize?
What It's okay. We don't even have to be recognized for anything. What's good enough? That's what I want to know. What do we have to do?
Something doing something would be good enough. Doing something would be good enough, but
Okay, well,
there's been nothing going on. So when you talk about your options in white women and why you want to explore them, which is fine, I have a couple questions about that because we already explored the fact that you think it's because black women's attitude. Okay, well, we already explained the attitude. The rest of what black men talk about is extremely superficial, and most of it have to do with black women essentially just being black. They don't like dark skin, they don't like black features, they don't like the hair types. They'll sit up here and glorify mixed race babies. So they want white women because they are white. That is the appeal. And they can wrap it in black women's attitude and black women's behavior as much as they want to. But at the end of the day, they like them because they are white. You want to know how I know? Because they give white women the same outcome as black women: single mothers, absentee fathers, on welfare, attitude. That is what they give them. That's the results of them being with white women.
I we're actually that I don't think that's true. We're actually in our kids' lives as black men. A lot of them, a ton of them. I
Oh,
know you've seen
really?
those stats. I know you've seen.
Oh, okay. So if all of y'all are in y'all kids' lives,
Not
then
all,
why
not
why
all,
mention?
not all.
Okay, well, why mention single mothers then? There's no single mothers if you're in your kids' lives.
Mm.
So what's the issue then? Then what's the issue with this male behavior? They all have their fathers, so it kind of sounds like they have that male influence. Why are they running around dusty and feminine and incapable of being men? Why? Since the men raising, should black men raise better kids?
You funny. Should we raise better kids? Yeah, but couldn't we say the same thing about black women?
Well, here's the thing, men are the head of the household. So since black men are in the
Would
home,
y'all
you're
let us
in the
be?
household, you don't get to refer to woman when man is in the household. That's
Okay.
not how it works. You don't get to do that. So since black men are in their kids' lives,
Uh huh.
why are they not raising masculine providers and protectors and builders? What's up with this epidemic of feminine dusty betas that black men are raising?
I mean, I feel like they are raising leaders. Again, we gonna keep just going back and forth with this.
Well, here's the thing. How you feel and what's actually going on are different things. So that's fine. We have to get out of your feelings for a while and talk about what's actually going on. Because sometimes feelings and reality is inconsistent. And I think that's what's happening here. You feel like black men are leading, but reality says that you can't point to anyone who's actually
Let's talk
leading.
about what's really happening. 90% of black men are marrying black women.
90%
90%.
of black men don't get married. Do you know the percentage of black men that get married?
90%. 90% of
No,
the ones who are getting married to
no.
black women.
So here's the
There's
thing.
more
There's
married black
no,
men than there
no,
are black women.
no. There's no 90% of black men in marriage in anything at all. The stat is of the black men who get married, of the black men who get married, 85% of them marry black women. A small amount of black men are getting married. That only 26% of black people, that's black men and women, only 26% of them get married. So this whole notion that a bunch of black men are running around marrying black women is false. When they get married, they do. However, marriage is one thing. Running around here creating
But
mixed kids with white
the
women that
national
you're not going to take
average.
care of is something completely different. Because let me tell you, you don't have to be married to create a kid. And black men are running around here increasing the white population with these biracial kids. That is what they are doing, period. And it is not up for discussion, it's what they're doing. So we need to throw the whole marriage stat out the window because most black men are not getting married.
So what about the swirlers and the divestors? Are they uh, anywhere in this anywhere in this
Well,
count?
why would they? Why would they if we're talking about black men's options? We're talking about black men's options, so why would the swirlers and divestors? If you're exploring your options, why do you care what a swirler or a divestor does?
Okay, Cynthia. So you said 85. Did you say 85% of black men were getting married to black women? Was that the actual stat?
It's around 80, 85, 86. It's around that amount.
Okay.
86% of the black men who get married, not of black men, of the
Okay,
black
not
men
of
who
black men,
get
but of the
married.
black men
Yeah,
who are getting married. And
because a
the
small
marriage,
percentage of black men get married.
what's the marriage percentage in America in general? Is that somewhere around 48, 50%?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up. I'm not sure.
Okay. And then can we tack on the 80% obesity? Can we
Who has 80% obesity?
in the black
No, it's not. It's not in the black community. Where are you
what's the
getting that
number?
from?
What's the number for black women as far as obesity rate goes?
I
What
don't
do you
know.
think?
I don't know what the exact percentage. I think like around 46% or something. It's in the 40s. But
And that be the
I'll
correlation.
actually no, I think it's around like 37%. So
37%?
yeah,
No,
I
I
think
think
it's
it's much
around
higher.
37. I think it's hold on. I think it's around 37%
I just
because white women and Hispanic people actually have higher rates of obesity than
are
black
you
women.
sure? Are you
We can
sure? Cynthia?
we can look up the obesity rates
Okay,
and
let's do that. Let's for black women, let's look up that obesity rate, and then let's find out does that have any
no,
type
we're
of
gonna
correlation?
hold on.
Okay.
We're gonna look up obesity rates in America by race because we're gonna compare it to the group of women that you said that you're exploring. So here's the thing. Let's look at the obesity rates. So it's saying that black it's saying non-Hispanic black adults, not women, non-Hispanic black adults, so that's including men, had the highest prevalence of obesity, 38.4 overall. However, we know Hispanic is not a race. So they're not
Hold on,
including,
Cynthia.
hold on,
Can you find a chart that's just
it's on
simply
cdc.gov. I'm telling you what it is. It's showing on cdc.gov. It's where if you just Google obesity rates in America by race, it should come right up. So we're comparing them to everyone. And yes, we do need to compare because you said that one of the reasons why black men are exploring their options is because of the obesity rate. So I'm telling you, according to the CDC, the rate of black adults is 38.4% overall. Now, followed by Hispanic adults, we know most Hispanics here are white, is 32.6. Then you have non-Hispanic white, 28.6. So the thing of it is if you're talking about you need to explore your options in order to avoid black female obesity, you're encountering more of it in your other options because if you combine Hispanic, which is white, with white, you have over a 50% rate of obesity. It's nearing the 60s. It's like somewhere in the 60s. Somebody add up 32.6 and add it to 28.6. So you have a higher incidence of obesity there. So you're not going over there because of obesity. You're going into the communities who have more fat people. So you can think about the real reason while I listen while I go over this chat. Elevating Darkness said he came here to check you, not get resolutions. He doesn't get building or leadership. Narcissism is why the grind yields zero results. Men shouldn't need women to be productive. They want black women to be the blame, but they do nothing. And I absolutely agree. You don't need women to be productive. You just don't. And the bottom line of it is men should be doing something. And I think that you know that they should. I think that the fact that you have what most black men have, which is cognitive dissonance, I think that won't let you see reality. But Black Beauty said, what is the percentage of black men who go to non-black women and the obesity rate? I see them all the time on who they really choose. Well, that's what I was going to get to. Obesity isn't the issue because 9 times out of 10, when a black man is with a white woman or a Hispanic woman or any woman, she is obese. So let's just be real, especially
that's
if
not
she's a
true.
woman of no color.
Cynthia, I live down here in California. There's a ton of
Okay.
there's a ton of I don't I can't well, I can speak for I've lived other places. I've lived in Vegas, I've lived in Montana, and I lived in Montana. Cynthia, it ain't nothing but white people in Montana.
Okay.
I've seen some of these black men with some real attractive women from other races. So that's just not true. Like that's
But I don't trust a black man's opinion of attractiveness when it comes to another race of woman because he could be saying she's attractive just because she's white. I've seen the women
no,
that
I've seen
black
your
men think
videos.
are attractive.
I've
So
seen your videos. I know. Trust me, y'all be getting the pictures. Y'all for sure be getting the pictures of these. I'm not gonna
and a
lie.
lot of them are out of California. And it's interesting that you say that because a lot of them come out of California.
I mean that's fair, but I just feel like it's a lot of cherry picking going on. It's look, it's a lot of
Oh,
us.
no,
It's a,
you
but
can't.
hold on, I
Nobody's
can say
cherry
the same
picking.
thing. Can I say the same thing though? DJ
You
Kid.
could, but it wouldn't be.
What
It wouldn't
about
be
DJ
true.
Kid? What about
DJ
DJ
Kid was
Kid?
a predator. Why would you even bring up a
I'm
predator?
bringing because those women who were with DJ Kid was happy to be with DJ Kid. They were
Because he
happy
was
to be.
giving them money. Because he was giving them money. He
So
was
that's
giving them
prostitution.
money.
So these women were prostituting themselves.
Okay, so what's your, even if they were, what would be your point? The grown ones,
My point is,
the older ones
he's a dusty, like Lonnie Love's husband.
that
Dusty.
y'all let him in. He's a dusty that y'all let in the community. That black men let in the
Oh my
community.
goodness, Cynthia, I love you, but we can't be doing
Oh,
this.
do we need to bring up all these pictures of DJ Kid with these black male rappers who had? Let me explain something to you. Ain't no way a white DJ is getting into the black community unless black men allow him in there. Period. It just is what it is. No white person is getting into hip hop or anywhere near hip hop culture unless black men allow them to come in. That's just a fact. So if this dude had access to the community, it is because of black men bringing him into the community. Whose community do you think he was DJing for? Who do you think he was DJing for? You think he was
He was
DJing for a
DJing.
bunch of black female
Nah,
artists?
he was DJing for black artists.
Right,
So,
black
so
men.
okay, that's fair. You got me with the DJ Kid, Cynthia. You stumped me with that one. Now let's talk about Lonnie Love.
What about her?
Let's talk about Lonnie Love. Is Lonnie Love is her situation with I mean, she's with the Dusty White. All you're doing right
How
now
is
is
she with
saying
a dusty
what
white dude? He's a corporate millionaire. How is she with a dusty white dude?
Lonnie Love's dude is a corporate millionaire.
Yes. How do you think he would? You think a regular dude is rubbing elbows with Lonnie Love? How did he?
Yes, he's
How
on
did a
Tinder.
regular dude? How
She
did a
found him on
regular
Tinder.
dude?
She found him on Tinder, Cynthia. Yes, I think regular, but I think she's checking for dudes like that for Dusties. Yes, she was on
How do
Tinder.
you know she found him on Tinder?
She spoke on it.
And you don't
I
think
can forward you.
and you don't think that she was being comedic to say that she met him on Tinder? You don't think she not Lonnie Love is a comedian. You're taking her seriously when she tell you she got her dude off of Tinder.
It's funny because when it seems like whenever I give you some type of example, is what you moving it to the side and you're doing all this
Okay,
stuff
let's
to
say for
to
okay, well
deflect.
she got him off of Tinder. He's dusty. I'm failing to see the point. What is the point?
My point is you're pointing to dudes on you're pointing to us doing that with like we're just what do you say, the receptacles, the sperm receptacles or some of these other what you say? I like
No,
that phrase.
I said the sewage receptacles.
Okay, the sewage receptacles. But yeah,
Okay.
we can use that both ways. A lot of
How okay, use it both ways and
hey,
make the point because I still don't get what point you're trying to make.
the point is when these black women get with some of these other races of men, sometimes they're low and they have no
But
criteria.
what difference does it make? Black women are not saying that they're dating black men because of they don't like black men because of how they look.
Yes,
Nothing
they are.
about no, they're
That's
not.
that's what
No, they're
divestors
not.
do all day.
No,
That's what
they don't. I've listened to divestors and I've listened to swirlers, and they're not talking about how black men look.
okay.
No, they're not. They're talking about how black men are acting as men, whether or not black men will commit, whether he is sufficient enough to take care of himself and a family. I haven't heard any divester or swirler ever mention how black men look because black men are attractive mostly to black women.
So why are they dating dusty white males who can't live up to the same thing they want us to live
Well,
up
what? How is he? How is her husband not living up to? Is her husband a bum on the? Are you trying to get me to believe that her husband is a bum on the street? How is he not living up to what a black man would have to live up to? How is he not doing that?
to. Mm, I'm, all right, Cynthia. I'm telling.
Black women, when they go to other races of men, it's because they want a commitment, they want stability, they want to not be heard told about their skin tone all day.
Okay.
They want a provider. They want someone who they feel like is going to protect them. That is what every single swirler and divesting woman that I've listened to have I've never once heard any of them say that black men are overweight, because you have a lot of black men who are overweight. I've never heard them say the black men got bad attitudes, when black men have the worst attitudes of any group of men on the face of the planet. Y'all are not nice. You have nasty attitudes. You don't know how to approach women. You're very disrespectful. So black men don't have good attitudes. But I never even hear divesting or swirling women talking about black men's nasty attitudes ever. They're talking about the fact that they want to get married, that they want a commitment, that they want a father for their child. Period. Even Crystalline hasn't talked about how black men look. She talks about how they don't won't commit, how they don't build, they don't provide, they don't protect, they don't think that they have to provide or protect. So you can't put that on swirlers and divestors. Lonnie Love is irrelevant unless she said that she was divesting because she needed someone who looked better or who had a better attitude. Nobody said that.
I mean, she went on national TV saying that we're incapable of having functional relationships.
And
She
okay, so you are incapable of having functional
she's with a
relationships.
dude who has kids by multiple different women.
Just because you have
That's
kids
my
by
point.
multiple different
How are you
women
going to
don't
talk
mean
down
that
on
you
us? How
hold
are you going to
on,
talk
hold
down on us and
on.
then go do the same stuff with
Hold
another
on,
worse?
hold on. Nobody is saying that you can't have functional relationships if you have kids with multiple women, because there are men who have functional relationship with their women that they have kids by.
Are you good with
Nobody
that,
said that.
Cynthia? Are you
I
good with
don't I don't care. I don't care one way or another. I sure don't. I care about whether he's raising his children. Is he active in his children's lives? Does he provide for his children? Does he have a bunch of tacky drama going on? Or is everything organized where things just flow? There's no drama between the moms.
that?
Nobody cares about that. The bottom line of it is black men don't have functional relationships with any group of women, because even when they do marry white women, their divorce rate is higher than everybody else's. They leaving them single mothers. Are they picking the wrong dudes too?
But a lot of white men are doing the same thing. That's what I mean. Like so,
It
it,
doesn't matter. This is not about white men. You said black men are exploring their options and going to other groups of women because
yes,
black women's attitudes. That's
yes,
what you said.
yes. So
Okay,
I think
so
you
if
got
you're
okay.
so
So
we
I
so
think
we
it's
don't
that
need to
bad.
bring white men in this. This is not
Okay,
about
I
white
won't bring him
men.
in. I won't bring him in. I think it's that bad to where it's that fucked up. At least in this. Oh, sorry, my bad for cutting. That messed up. At least in this little realm, that people that the black dudes is like, you know what? The shame, what you say about us, as far as other races and groups of women, if we just taking them, and they the lowest of the low and they fat and whatnot. I think black men just at this point they not even caring as far as what people are saying, the outside noise, a lot
Okay.
how black women are feeling. A lot of these dudes just being like, you know what? I'm happier. I'm happier with that fat girl. I'm happier with that woman who ain't. You know what? Because this, I don't need this. People are really saying that. Cynthia.
Right, but if they're
We,
so happy, then why are their relationships failing though? That's fine. Black men can think that.
I mean,
Why
this is
is their
America.
relationship
This is
failing
America.
though?
This is America. A lot of groups, a lot of people's, the divorce rate is as high as it's ever been in America, in general. Like
Right,
that's
but black
America,
men,
so that's
right, but
happening
it's
in general.
right, but it's particularly high when it's a black man. So yes, everybody is going through relationship ups and downs, but black men are going through it more than anybody else. Black men are having the most relationship failure. So why do you think it is that black men have the most relationship failure of anybody, regardless of the race of the woman that he's with?
Uh, hmm. Are you sure? Are you sure that stat is
Yes,
fact?
absolutely. Yes. Black men have the highest, especially literally the only chance of success black men have is with black women. This is what's so funny is that the only time a marriage will last with a black man 9 times out of 10 is if he's with a black woman. His highest rate of failure is with white women. But continue. Absolutely, he has the highest rate of failure, particularly with the women that he sits up and talk about are perfect mates. So either A, she's not a perfect mate, or you're not a perfect mate. So which one is it? Do you think the relationships are failing because women of no color are not good mates, or because black men are not?
Well, I mean, we're most marriages end due to economics, and we're the most economically disenfranchised. So I can see that. I can see that being a fact. I can see us failing. As far as that goes. Yeah, that economics usually play a big factor in divorces
Yeah,
and
but you're
what's on the totem pole.
speculating right now because you don't know what the reason, you don't know the reason why black men's relationships are failing because we only know that they're failing. Most people, when they get a divorce, they cite irreconcilable differences. They don't go into detail and say, well, she cheated and he lost his job. They don't do that. So,
And most women are filing for these divorces. From most
exactly.
cultures. So go ahead.
Exactly. So does that mean that black men are not good mates then? Because we can then, if we take that stat, then we can assume that women of no color are the ones who are divorcing black men. So does that mean that black men are not good mates then?
Nah, I don't feel like we're not good mates.
Then why don't you have successful relationships? Why do you have the highest failure then? Are the women not good mates?
No, I don't think the women aren't good mates. I just like I said, this is America. People don't stay
People
in
are
one.
not getting divorced because they're in America. Nobody has ever cited America as the reason why they're getting divorced. Divorces occur either because of money, sex, or lack of compatibility. Those are actually the three reasons why. And money actually is number three. That's actually money isn't even the top reason why. I don't even think it's number one, but we could look it up. But anyway, those are the top three: money, sex, incompatibility. Three reasons why relationships fail.
Okay.
So
So if we're the lowest on economic, if we're the lowest on the economic chain, there you
right,
go.
but you're assuming it's because of economics, because actually the majority of your
It's
successful
not sex.
wealthy,
It
hold
ain't
on,
sex.
hold on. Most of your wealthy black men marry white. So money isn't the issue in those
Not
situations
true,
because
Cynthia.
most of your wealthy black men marry white. The more money they have, you can look up the statistics. The more money and education a black man has, the more likely he is to date outside of
Show
his
me
race
that
and to
stat. Show
marry
me that
outside.
stat.
You
Where
go
the
to
research.
Pew Research, type in interracial dating,
Pew
and
Research.
Pew Research, yes, will tell you that the more likely, the more money a black man have and the more education he has, the more likely he is to marry outside of his race. So now that we know that money isn't necessarily an issue because the wealthier a black, because chances are, especially in Hollywood and just in wealthy circles, if that black man is wealthy, it's a high chance that he has a white wife. So money, we can speculate, but what else? Because you said it's not sex. So it would be money and lack of compatibility, right?
I mean, hey, yeah, I guess so. Why are some of those wealthy men not? Why do you think some of those wealthy men are not choosing to be with black women once they get that wealth?
Because they want to be white men. That's why. Because they want to be white men. They want to feel like they're white men.
Hmm. And for the black men who stuck with black women through their success and through their on
Show
the
me him.
I'm
Show me a black
Johnson,
man.
Magic Johnson,
Who?
LeBron James. I
Magic
could do
Johnson,
it.
the one who has HIV? That
Denzel
Magic
Washington.
Johnson.
Denzel, yeah, you got me. You got me.
Okay, so you
That one.
got three
What
of
about
them. How
Denzel?
many?
Speak on
Okay,
Denzel.
so
Speak
you got three or four. How
Will
many
and Jada.
black men are
Will and Jada.
here?
Even through the entanglement. Will and Jada. Come on.
Probably because Will got a bunch of entanglements herself, and actually, Will and Jada built their wealth together. They built it together with each other. But um, Will Smith has a few white entanglements. So it's interesting because you're actually kind of proving the point by bringing up Will Smith because he got a few white entanglements out
I mean,
there,
not that
actually.
we know of. What we know of is what came out publicly. You can't speak on any of that because you don't know that. You really don't know.
Okay, and neither the okay, well, you don't know the in and out of their relationship either, so why
What
bring it up?
what I do know is Jada brought another man in the home, and
Actually, both of them did. Actually, Will Smith said he allowed them in the
okay,
home too, so
okay,
Jada
okay,
didn't bring
okay.
him into the home. They both did.
Samuel L. Jackson's wife is black. There's another example. Denzel Washington. Shaq. Shaq was with Shawnee. His wife is black.
Okay,
Ice
we
Cube.
know there's, I know, we know that there are some black men who are wealthy who marry black. We know that. Nobody ever said that. We said the majority of them marry white.
But
So
that's
you
not
being
true. I
able to
just gave
bring
you a
up
plethora
some,
of examples. That's not
okay, so cite me, no, you gave me five examples. You gave me examples of five people.
okay. Now
So
give me some examples of who what black man ain't with a black woman.
I'm no, I'm
Even-
telling you the data. So here's the thing: marriages are tracked. Marriages by race are tracked. Income levels are tracked. So are you saying that the CDC and the U.S. Census, who report these numbers, are you saying that they're lying? That they're lying when they say that most of the wealthy black men who have recorded to get married have married white women? Do you think that they're lying when
What
they
I'm
say
saying,
that?
what I'm saying is, and I'm not calling you a liar, but I fact checked on some of the supposed facts that you've given me, and they weren't factual. So
Which
maybe your
ones did
numbers
you
have been
which ones
skewed.
did you go to? Which
The
ones did you go to?
obesity. I went through the
I'm
obesity one
let
for
me
you.
let me share people the screen. Let me share people the screen so we can look at the Centers for Disease Control because this is where I got my obesity facts from, and then I'm gonna need you to show me your obesity.
Okay, well,
So, you see my screen that says Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
yeah, I see.
Now we're gonna go down here where it talks about these obesity rates. And if you come up here, it tells you about cancers and obesity, and then it tells you who has obesity. So that's where I'm getting mine from, where it says right here, combined data for 2015 through 2017 allowed for assessment by a majority racial ethnic categories and found that non-Hispanic Black adults had the highest prevalence of obesity at 38.4%, followed by Hispanic adults, 62, and non-Hispanic white adults, 28.6. So this is where I'm getting the obesity stuff from. I don't know where you would be getting it from, but this is from the Centers for Disease Control. Are you saying that the Centers for Disease Control is lying and whoever you're looking at somehow is giving a more accurate one? Is that what you're saying? Because I'm showing you it. So where are you getting your information from?
Excuse me on the just real quick. If you look at the CDC website, by like there's a graph by race and gender of obesity rates for 2017, 2018. It says age adjusted prevalence
Email it to me.
among adults aged 20 and over by sex and race, and Hispanic origin, United States 2017, 2018, and Black women are the highest on that list at 56.9.
Again, because you
This is
have
from the
it
CDC.
right,
This
because
is from
you
that
have
same website.
right, that's fine because you have Hispanic and white set out as two different groups. Most Hispanic in this country are white. Hispanic is not a race. So when you have it broken down where you have them trying to say Hispanic is something other than white, no. But if you combine Hispanic to white, which is where it should be, that 28.6, and I'm going to tell you what that percentage goes up to. And it goes up to them being the majority. There's a reason why they're separating it. And see, I know how stats work.
Wouldn't one of the stats need to be like higher, because if you add them together, do you not get a percentage of obesity rates that is in between the number? I'm confused at how you're gonna do a magic trick with the stats to make it,
It's not a magic trick. I'm adding the percentage of Hispanic to the percentage of white.
and that is not how percentages work, man.
It doesn't work how? Well, how
You
does
don't
it
add
not work?
percentages together. just
Sure,
random.
you can. You can add them
I
together
mean,
and you'll get 61.2%. So that means white is making up the majority of obesity. Sure, you can. You can combine them because Hispanic isn't a race. Because we know Hispanic isn't a race. And
I understand, but what I'm saying is if you combine them as a percentage, you need to add in.
right.
Okay, you got it.
No, I don't need to add in anything. I only need to add in the two percentages. One was 28.6, the other was 32.6, and combined they equal 61.2%. That means 61.2% of the obesity is not coming from Black women. It means the majority of obesity is coming from Black women. It means the majority of it is not Black women. That is what it means. You just want to have it your way because you want to somehow prove that Black women is fat. And let's just say
No,
most
no,
of them
no,
are
no, no,
fat.
no.
Here's
You
the
got me
thing.
wrong, man. I'm just telling you
Here,
your stat is wrong.
here's the
I don't
thing.
believe the
Okay,
people are
okay,
fat. I
that's
believe that number is coming from. I believe
okay. So
that
that's
even the measure of
fine.
obesity
Okay,
is
so
the
that's
measure of fat.
fine. Let's
It's
say
not
Black
accurate for
women.
Black
Okay, that's
people. I don't
fine.
believe that.
So
I'm just telling you that's wrong math. That's not how you do stats.
okay, well, you can tell you're telling that to a person who had to take statistics to get their degree and passed it with an A. So you're talking to somebody who's, I could throw my transcript up here now. You're talking to somebody who understands statistics, period.
Yes, ma'am.
Bottom line of it is you can add two percentages together.
You,
And the bottom line of it is when you add those two groups together, understanding that Hispanic is not a race, you are looking at most of the obesity, and you don't even have to add them together. You know that Black women are not Hispanic, and you know that Black women are not white. So if you have two other groups there that are factored into that, then it should be obvious that if you have two different groups, those two outnumber the one. So you don't even need to combine them. You can just look at the fact that Black women are one group, and then you have two other groups who are also obese. So that would mean most of the obesity is not coming from Black women. It's just not.
I mean,
And
probably
even if, and here's the thing, even if it
from
was,
a
here's
data
the
number,
thing.
from a number standpoint, but we're talking percentages,
Okay,
and
that's fine. Let's
percentages
say
of groups,
hypothetically, it
right?
does,
But
listen, it doesn't matter. We can move off the percentage. Let's say hypothetically, most Black women are fat. You say that to say what?
I don't think that. I don't think that. I just think that what we were talking about was just you and how you're saying how those
Obesity,
numbers.
okay, but
Most
here's the
of what we're
thing.
talking about philosophically, I agree with, but when you're not being, I feel like you're being intellectually dishonest
I'm
about
not
the stats that
actually.
we're talking about.
I'm not actually because I
Even if I agree
understand
with you,
statistics, so I'm
like even if
actually
I agree
not.
with you, like I
It's
just don't see
it's
how
intellectually dishonest to say that that Black women are more obese than other
that's not what I'm
people.
saying. I'm
It's
telling you what the
I know,
CDC.
but I'm telling you that's not true though, because you have
I
other groups of people. You have
you
other
think the
groups of
CDC right?
people. The bottom line is if
Who
you're
are you?
going out, hold on. The bottom line is if you're going outside of your community, you have more of a chance to encounter an overweight woman than you do within it. That's just the bottom line. There's more fatness outside of your community than there is within it. And that's perhaps probably why every time we see Black men with a woman of no color, 9 times out of 10, she is obese, period. So obesity is not the issue unless you just don't like Black obesity. And then that would just mean that you feel like white is better. And then it would just go back to my point of Black men divesting because they like whiteness. That's what that would mean. Because you would need to then tell me why it is that nearly everyone is primarily seeing Black men with obese women of of other races to the degree that you literally have said obese women coming out talking about how all they need to do when they feel good about themselves, when they want to feel good about themselves, is go right through a Black community because Black men love them.
Okay, so if black
Black
women,
men wouldn't have that reputation if they were known for dating non-obese women. They just would not.
okay, so if that's the case, then it shouldn't be any beef within black women. We should love on black women, right? Since we love fat women, and since the statistics show that y'all are the bulk of the where the obesity is coming from, so that should show that we actually do fuck with obesity, right? We do love obesity. Since most black
Okay, so
women,
right, so what's the point?
my point is, it's not the decisions, it's not all based on this black male. Some of the accountability is on y'all end as
Well,
well.
what do you mean? I'm lost. Well, some of what decision isn't all on black men?
I'm saying, listen, if black men,
Black men's decisions and who they choose to date is 100% on black
it's
men.
on black men. So I'm telling
Yes,
you, if we're choosing to go out and date obese, and we're also dating obese within our own community, why are we looking outside of the community?
because
What's the
they're
issue there?
white. Because you only value what is outside of your
Don't
community.
tell me
Black men don't value what's in their community.
that's not true, Cynthia. That's not true.
How? You left your community in shambles. You refused to build up your community. You've evaded responsibility for your community. How are you sitting up there talking about you don't value what's outside of it? That's the only thing that you value.
We value y'all, man. We love black women. We love y'all too, man.
Right, but you're just so you're choosing to not be with black women because you love them so much.
No, what it is what I'm doing is I'm seeing who's treating me the best. And if I'm getting treatment from outside of a woman who's not my race, then
Okay,
so be it.
so
It just is
so
what it
then
is.
so it'll go back to this then because this is going in circles. So if you feel like white women treat you the best, then
They don't.
why are
They
you
don't. Not white women specifically, but go
okay,
ahead.
any woman, why are they all getting the same results that black women get? If that's the case, if you they make you feel so good and that's fine,
They're not all getting the same
the
result.
but the majority is the majority of them is
Saying,
though.
saying, how do
And the
you
good and because again,
saying how you know that?
because
Honestly, you know the
if
majority.
the I'm going to tell you why, because if these women are ending up unmarried single mothers on welfare raising children alone, how is that not the same outcome?
You said, what does that say about our men?
I said, how is that not the same outcomes? That's the same thing they're doing to black women, and they're also doing it to Asian women, white women, and non-black Latina women. They're doing it to all of them because the good thing is data tracks these. When babies are born, they get tracked. Whether the mom is married, that gets tracked. So all of these things can be tracked. So if the majority of other races of women that you said are such good maids and you have so much success with them, they're so good, why are they getting the same results as black women?
First off, I just want to say that it's no group who's just better than black women like that. I feel like
But you said they are. You said
no,
that they
no,
treat you
no, no, no.
better.
I'm saying that I'm getting better. I may be getting made, and let me say made because I think you got it twisted. Like I'm just over the fence. Nah, I said they treat the treatment. The treatment may be a little bit better, and if it's better, then I'm gonna rock with it. I mean, it just
Right,
is what it is.
but that's why I'm
But
saying. So if the treatment is better, why are y'all not treating them better? That's my question. Why, by and large, they treat you better, but
we're
you're not
treating.
treating them better? No, you're not. You're
No,
not treating them better if they're single mothers, unmarried, and on welfare.
you don't know that though. It's only
I
if
do. You
that.
can look up this. You can look at the data. It's trackable. This is data that we're talking about. It's simple. You can type in the single mother rate in other communities when most of them.
And
This is
they're all due to black
global.
men. The bulk of those are due to black
Yes, all of them are due to
men.
black men. And actually, and hold on, they even asked if the woman was with black men, multiple black men. Yes, this is trackable, and this is the outcome they're giving. That's why guess who the largest increasing single mother group to black children is? Guess who's filling that spot?
If I had to guess, I'd say Latinas because that's pretty
And
much
no,
Latino.
white women.
I mean, there's a lot of white boys leaving these white women on stuck.
No, but they're not leaving them with black kids though. That's the thing. I said the fastest growing group of single mothers to black children.
Mm. Okay, Cynthia. All right. Well, hey, are we good? Are we good here? We
I
good?
mean, if you got everything off your chest that you wanted to get off your
I got
chest, this is
everything
your
off my
show.
chest. I just want as far as the dark skin thing too, for all of dark-skinned women who feel like they struggling out there, it's gorgeous dark-skinned women. Period. Point blank. Like I don't know what all of this
No.
killerism stuff be about. 'Cause I don't get that. Bernice Burgos, Gabby Union. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Bernice Burgos, is she not? Is she not dark enough? Is she not dark enough?
What is the point? Like seriously, what is the point
I'm just
of
I'm,
that?
I'm just making sure you not on her head. I'm just making sure that Bernice Burgos is cool. You know, I'm making sure she reached the requirements and it ain't no issue that I'm showing her love.
No, I don't think that we care about that. But if there's anything else you would like for us to know about Black men and their options, you can feel free to tell it.
Nah, man, we don't. I just think that it seemed it was more so like a diss, but it wasn't no diss. It was me just being honest with what's been going on out this way, and we just feel like we going with like the options. The thing is, like, I don't think nobody, black men, we're worried. Some, let me not say that, because some are all in y'all face about it, and that needs to stop. That really needs to stop.
Hmm.
The fact that, black men, some black men are throwing these other groups of women in y'all faces. That really needs to stop. My thing is, if you do it, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't, do what you do. What you like is what you like. That is what it is. But you don't need to be belittling another group of people. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. I understand that y'all seeing these videos and seeing what some of these men are saying and y'all getting frustrated. I fully understand that. And I understand it because no other group of men is doing that. That
Right.
no other group of men is speaking on they women like that publicly. So I will fully give y'all that. It goes both ways, but man, we obviously, you want us to be and we should be the bigger people, and we should stop first. So it just is what it is. I want us, for the people who really do care about the community and whatnot. The Dusties can do what they do, but the people who really trying to better themselves and do better, is blacks and whatnot. I think they should focus more on getting together, and those should be the ones who really show patience and whatnot with one another. But that's it. That's all I got, Cynthia. Thank you. I appreciate you for letting me come on. I appreciate you for letting me say my piece. Uh,
No
thank
problem, definitely.
you. Yeah.
And thanks for coming as well. I do appreciate it, and I hope there was a little bit of understanding as to
I got
why
man. I
Black women
understand
have
a
the
little bit.
attitudes.
Y'all upset, and y'all feel like y'all upset because you feeling disrespected. Y'all feeling
Yeah.
disrespected. Y'all, it's some hurt in there. I heard some hurt. It is, but it is what it is. Like, I understand. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't get where you coming from, because I do. But yeah, that's
I
that.
mean, and I'm not saying there's not Black women out there who have attitudes. Of course there are, and I think it's understandable. But I think that Black men need to be the ones who are more open and to just stop running, because ultimately, when they run away from Black women, the root cause is because they're running away from themselves and their own failures. See, because white women are not going to have the same expectation of a Black man that a Black woman does, because she's already able to nest in a community built by men who protect her. She already has that, so she doesn't need Black men to stand up and fight anything. She doesn't need Black men to do anything. She has a group of men who are doing it, but we don't. And so that's where a lot of it is coming from. But thank you,
Nah,
also for coming on.
that was genuine. What you just said, I felt that. So
Yeah.
yeah. But all right. You have a great rest of your night. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
All right. Bye bye. All right, you guys, I'm gonna jump off of here. It's late. It's 11, so or it's after 11. It's already 11:30. So I'm gonna jump off of here. But sorry I wasn't able to read off everybody's super chats. I tried to get to them, but thank you guys so much for the super chat. Thanks to the mods for sweeping up the dust because I'm sure it was a lot of them. But I'm going to jump off of here and you guys have yourself a good Saturday night. I'll see you guys later. Thank you, Yvonne Mason. She said, can someone tell him we're not upset? Some of us have moved on too. Exactly. I mean, there's no reason to be upset because being upset isn't going to make black men change. And so at the end of the day, it is what it